really barged in, and this time around, JPX right next to them, and Joker Goblin moving together. Spotter, he peeks out, takes a couple of shots. Joker, quite difficult there, but look at Legit. He's found an opener. Hollywood, he's down.
Yeah, JPX pretty much being shut down as well. Knuckle, he was traded off. Nice little bit of recovery here, but JPX, they got picked off, 2 down. And they are not looking to try and pick this fight here, but so they are going to try and reposition this. Meanwhile, Nebula having a little bit of a run in here with CAG Osaka. And now Sheep holds the shotgun. The rush comes through. Adi almost gets taken out, but he is going to be knocked off. Nomi going to be holding the angle, but Sheep picks from a cheeky angle, takes him out, and now only Phoenix remain. But he was able to clean them out from the back lines. From an off angle, Nebula, they hold on. They get the 4 frags.
What and how? I'm still
teams here, because this is not going to be a position game. This is going to be a hit and run, or maybe third-party city center, because right now Mysterious 4 on the mountain terrain, expecting company a push coming from Reignite, and they get completely shut down. A fantastic defense coming from Mysterious 4 at the Hilltop on Primos. But inside the city, we do see Mad Kings Osho fighting against Rejects, but Rejects clutching things big time, shutting down Mad Kings.
Yeah, it was fights happening out, but this time Mad Kings did not have Pro to save their souls. Clutch God eventually had to bow down, but this is where majority of these teams made that mistake, right? Everybody wanted to play for the center, and then there was
of urban warfare, but for Mysterious 4 on the minimap as well, you can see on the west side, they are playing Hilltop, so they have no reason to engage. All they need to do is just punish every single team inside. MTR is going to play this as well. There's not a lot of space. They are coming from the ocean, but considering that there's still so many teams still alive, I don't think teams are going to be looking at the ocean. They are most likely going to be looking at each other in urban, and they might be able to find some sort of space inside the shores. Meanwhile, Nebula Esports, they're still outside. They haven't actually made their way through. They're driving outside Fair Pier, but Phoenix was picked off, and that's going to be Soul that takes them out from the east side. They're still outside the zone, and Soul making the safer play here, which is to pick off all the stragglers outside before making their way through. That pretty much lowers their percentage of surviving in their zone, but it does give them a little bit of time to actually plan and gather the information on how things are happening here. There is 14 teams. Stage 3 made its way. They have to drive past Primos, and fortunately for Soul, there is a lot of space coming from the west side.
Now, to be really honest, I feel like Soul are making a very good call. Slight replay on how that fight it really erupted. Mad Kings trying to go, and it was Reject, clutched it out. I mean, Divine being the last player alive. But coming back to conversation, you know, Team Soul, they had to really pick their timings right. That's where they sort of messed up. You know, that mad frenzy we just got to witness. Everybody was fighting for position, for territory. And Haiku Soul still having all 4 of their players up, still around the edges, but Reject, they refuse to bow down. It's a battle for the Hilltop. The king of the hill position has now been claimed by Reject, and now Mysterious 4, they're in a real world of trouble.
Yeah, Mysterious 4.
But you know, the rule of thumb I see usually dictates that the circle is going to move away from Primos. So MTR, I'm really loving their position, but Omega, the last straggler, he was also found, and Mysterious 4, finally, they also bow down.
Great play coming from Reject here, because they needed this opportunity. This Hilltop is one of the god spots in this moment. And as soon as they realized that Mysterious 4 gave it up, they took it, snatched it, and now they've got the god spot. Meanwhile, outside here, Dplus KIA, they've not exactly made their way inside the zone, but they know Nebula Esports is there. A fantastic nade from Noble will clean out Nebula, as they will be eliminated this game. And there's going to be a potential new team that is more far, and even Soul is going to be trying to join this fight. And this switch up coming from Dplus KIA has somewhat gave them a little bit of opportunity to try and hold on for this zone itself.
Previous game, we saw Haiku Soul taking down Dplus KIA. This time, Haiku Soul, they're going after JPX. Sixter, he opens it up. Knuckle, he's down on his knees as Joker. He needs to muster up courage. He needs to go pushing in, but Sixter, he was so prepared. And Haiku Soul now in tatters. Goblin legit having no other options but to hide inside that compound. As for Sixter, that was a play and a half. And Haiku Soul, this is something that they would regret. Really close. Divine somehow escaped by the skin of his teeth.
Exactly, and now K9, they have to be very, very quickly as well. And DRX was able to find Reiji. K9 instantly goes in for the slam. They snatch the point, they clean them out, and now they've got the god spot. But no, it doesn't matter, because from afar, God spawn or not, everybody's going to be looking at you, and K9, they got completely shut down now.
Again, yes, that's what I was trying to say. The floodgates have opened once again, I see. And could have been the players of Nongshim Red Force. Actually, they were trying to show that intent. But Sixta, oh my god. The single taps with that shotgun. And Joker trying to outplay him. But Sixta, he was always a step ahead. And the moment he opened the door, Joker was clueless, had no idea what was going on. But for Nongshim Red Force, they've shown their intent. And now this is where even MTR, they push in, trying to make their own road. K9, they are in trouble.
Boy, but from afar, as this fight drags on longer and longer, things are not going to be looking good if they do not start fragging out. As MTR looking, trying to make a push as well. Slug tries to go for a couple of connections, but no connections so far. MTR still running out open, but eventually finds a knock here from K9 Esports.
This is beautiful. So far, K9, they've been trying to play it to perfection, and now it is going to be Slug's moment as he delivers. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Could be the fourth coming in. This young individual, he's got a lot to prove. We've seen K9 always come close to the very end, and they choke. And this time, K9 Esports having that sublime ground advantage, and now they are actually making it count. MTR, a couple of moments ago, they were traversing through the waters. They tried to go for the climb, but seems like Slug has a different story to tell.
And at the same time as well now, Nongshim, they're trying their best to try and take this out. Ninja Boy is holding down the angles, but Ninja Boy clutches it big time!
Wow!
With a pixel of health, MTR gets shut down, Nongshim gets shut down as well, but it's not over yet for K9. Ninja Boy, they hold on, he gets his health up, he's gonna try and pick himself up, his teammate up as well, as the teams from Primos is trying to get a couple of low blow jabs, but Dplus KIA, they've heard all those commotions, and this is going to be very, very important for them.
Indeed. K9 right now at this very moment again. This time it was slightly a little too much as Reignite have K9's number, but valiant effort from the lads. This was much needed for that bounce back, as even for True Rippers, that was amazing. Jolly trying to inch in ever so close. Yamak so far, he's accumulated 2 finishes to his name, but this is going to be an interesting fight as he delivers once again. So easy, he goes down.
Yeah, the first knock secured by Yamak, but 3 more players still stand in his way, and they have a hovercraft to work with. He steps out into the open looking for that frag, but still he falls. Valiant effort from Reignite, but look at this. True Rippers on the other side taking on the players of God's Reign, and God's Reign lacking in numbers, can't really do much. True Rippers, brilliant position to work with, but look at the radar fixes. This is what I want to talk about, and this is the reason why all of us want to pile on in this game. Dplus KIA taking on OG. They have the higher ground, they have the numbers, but can they win this fight?
The scores are 1 each to both these sides. Now it is time to even the odds. AKOP already being bogged down. Osil, he's got that opener right now. As for now, Dplus KIA, they've got the numbers advantage. It is indeed a 2-on-4 situation. AKOP still out of commission. Aru not having the healthiest of HPs, as even Viscott falls. It's going to be Chips who finds that opener, and Dplus KIA, they are going to be pressing that trigger. Aru, the final member surviving. Dplus KIA, they now mean business.
Wow, patience paying off here. Dplus KIA just continuing on with the pressure right now as Shapes tries to fight this as well, but True Rippers also looking to try and grab up some points themselves as they try to push in. The zone is in the middle of nowhere, and Dplus KIA has got them completely locked down. Meanwhile, OG, they go down to True Rippers, but the bigger problem is where will True Rippers push out? DRX has got the city locked down, and Dplus KIA is right in front of them.
True Rippers is sandwiched, I see. They have nowhere left to go. DRX and Dplus KIA have them dead to rights, and look at what's happening. 2 players fall, the other 2 panic, move in front, out into the open. DRX, they have the line of fire. KIA put under pressure. In the meanwhile, Dplus KIA in the backlines will try to clean up as well, but they already kicked things off against DRX. They found the opening knock. It's just the question of who gets the chicken dinner. Is it going to be DRX or DK?
Seems like it could be a Korean show this time around.
Yeah, pretty much.
And pretty much the Indian teams really fell to their trap, especially with giving so much control, and DK and both DRX had been extremely patient, as a result of which now they are getting rewarded. The circle DRX, they've got such a nice position to play around, stay around those splits. True Rippers could be caught in between, and that's where HYUNBIN strikes. Harsh down on his knees, and now True Rip is also in a world of trouble, I see.
Yeah, Dplus KIA now. They found a little bit of opener. They're trying to reposition their way through. True Ripper is getting shot. And Osao and Chips cannot afford to be knocked here. As DRX finally goes in for the push. They find the opener. Hyunbin finds Osao. 4v3 instant trades from afar. Nobu was able to get a trade onto his Hyunbin. Great support fire, but Chips, he needs to win his 1 versus 1, but he cannot do so. Qxzz shuts them down. It's so easy. With a very, very interesting machine gun, ready to try and shred the way through, but it is going to be very, very tough. He cannot afford to be taken out. But as of yet, in terms of long range wise, Dplus KIA, they could still punish that. But in terms of suppressive fire, so easy. He's got their hands down. But they're playing this Slave 2 versus 3, and even DRX, the only reason why they're not playing this aggressive is just because it is just so much open fields, and now Qxzz, he gets spotted out by Fabian, but he does not have enough ammunition.
Yeah, and DRX as well, no movement space available. The shift of the circle actually favors the players of Dplus KIA. Look, it's so easy. He's running out into the open, provides a little bit of suppressing fire. Nolbu caught off guard, moves slightly towards the right to try and avoid the 2 dogs come through. Down to a 1v1 we go. Fabian spotted out, and it's a lot of damage dished out by Qxzz, but Fabian still left standing. Doesn't matter. There is the cleanup. DRX, they know how to shut down Dplus KIA, and they close out the match with an impressive chicken dinner with 12 finishes on the board.
That really got close. Quite intense towards the very end. DRX having the man advantage, and suddenly Dplus KIA. We saw that fight, I think, being prolonged. That was the longest fight in this tournament so far.
Pretty much.
Towards the end. That's what happens when you've got 2 Korean teams in the final circles. They outplay each other, not in terms of just gun skills, but also in terms of the time that they take.
Yeah, it was a lot of mind games, a lot of very strategic movements that they have been playing in that final zone here as well to take each other down. Eventually, obviously, it came down to a situation where Dplus KIA, they had no choice.